Hello. It is Kate Beaters, Breakthrough Success Expert. And please say hello. Let me know who is here and where you're from. And if you're in the US, did you vote today? So I'm happy to be with you today. It is kind of a monumental, momentous, whatever adjective. There's probably 1,000 different adjectives we can use today for everything that's going on. Um, Between the if you're in the United States, the presidential election as well as election for certain senators is also up. Also, COVID numbers are rising. They're going in the wrong direction, and the stock market is kind of been going down. So there's just so much going on, so much that feels out of our control, and so much chaos. I really thought it would be helpful to all of you and to me to do some tapping today and help you, especially where today is such a day of that can create so many triggers to help all of you with this. So again, please say hi if you're here and just let me know who's here and where you're from. So we're going to do some tapping today. And if you have never tapped before, I recommend go to katebeaters.com/learn to tap. And that's where I actually kind of explain, I go in more detail how tapping works and how to tap and all that kind of stuff, just because I'm not going to have time to go through that all today on this Facebook Live. So, let's just talk about some of the stressors, right? There's, of course, the pandemic. The numbers are going the opposite direction. If you're in certain countries in Europe and in the UK, they're going into lockdowns again. I mean, things are just kind of crazy. Schools, are they open? Are they closed? Do you have to buy a ton of stuff because are there going to be shortages? You're worried if you've got your own business, you're worried about your business. If you've got a job, you might be worried about your job. Maybe you're worried about getting sick or your friends and relatives getting sick, all the stuff with masks. And then, of course, the election, right? So there's so much going on. And I'm only naming just a small piece of things going on. There's just so much going on that if we don't take care of our stress, it's really going to affect, even at a higher level, the quality or give us a lack of quality of our life. So, tapping to me is the most powerful technique for mindset I've ever experienced. If and I'm very very results oriented. So if I thought there was something better, I would absolutely have spent all my time and energy and money, resources. I spent tens of thousands of dollars getting very very highly trained in this, and I would have certainly have used my efforts elsewhere. I just love the fact that this technique is so gentle. People get results on things and shifts that they never thought were possible. What tapping is doing is it's shifting, in just kind of a very basic explanation, it's shifting your negative thoughts, negative beliefs, old stories you have about yourself, what you deserve, what you're worthy of, all that types of things. And it's helping you start to reduce them, then ultimately release them, and then ultimately even further to replace it with a more positive, more empowering thought. So how do you start becoming empowered during this pandemic? And people are feeling this big loss of control. So we're going to start off by doing some tapping. And what I want you to do is I want you to give yourself a number of where you rate your stress level right now. And not where it was like 2 weeks ago or where you think it'll be, but just where it is right now. No one's judging you. It's just for yourself unless you choose to share it. And you're going to do it on a scale of 0 to 10. So zero, like, hey, Kate, I love you. That's why I'm here. And I love to tap, so that makes you a zero. You could be a 10, that you're not sleeping very well. You feel worried about things. You're having a hard time focusing. Maybe you notice your eating is not healthy, eating too much of the sugar or the white stuff or the salty stuff, and so on. Maybe you notice you're snapping at people. You're instead of being present in conversations, you might be short-tempered. You notice it on the road. Maybe you're buying things you wouldn't normally buy. And, that would bring you up towards the 10 or even higher, 15 or 20. Again, no judgment. It's just really for you to compare yourself as we're going through and do some tapping. And one more thing before you write down your number. What I want you to just do is a quick body scan of where you might be feeling any tension in your body. So start kind of at the top of your head. Is there any kind of headache there? Are you feeling any of that? Or pressure in your head? Maybe you're noticing it in your jaws, that it feels tight, or your teeth grinder, back there. You might be noticing in neck and shoulders. That's where I typically feel my stress. You might feeling some tightness there. If you scan down further in your stomach or your belly, your gut, whatever you choose to call it, you might be feeling either that it feels kind of wobbly or queasy or very tight in there. And let's go a little bit further down to your hips and your lower back, and maybe you're feeling some tightness or discomfort or pain there. So after you've done your body scan, give yourself a number again, 0 to 10. No one's judging you; it's just for your own knowledge. And so, just to let you know before we do start tapping, is that tapping is meant to be very gentle. It's not meant to bother you, to traumatize you. So if for some reason it does bother you, please just simply stop tapping. And if this issue, that we're working on is extremely serious, please get the help that you need. Um, so tapping in a nutshell looks kind of like Simon Says. You're going to tap on parts of your face and upper body using your fingertips, kind of following along with me. You're going to say what I tell you to say and tap where I tell you to tap. And it's going to look quite simple. It's going to look silly if you've never tapped before. It's going to look very simple, but that's because there's so much expertise going on behind the curtains. I've over a decade of training, and I'm highly trained in this. So I make it look simple, but there's a lot going on behind it. So before we start tapping, let's do a big stretch and yawn. Okay, so just kind of go like this, go, oh, doesn't that feel good? And also too, when we're tapping, please make sure you're somewhere safe. Don't be driving while we're tapping. And if you wear glasses, you probably want to take them off because some of the points are around your eyes. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start the karate chop, which is the side of the hand. Okay, doesn't matter which hand, whichever one you're more comfortable, and just repeat after me. There we go. Okay, so even though, and you repeat after me while you're tapping, even though I'm feeling a lot of stress and anxiety about everything going on, especially with what's going on today in the election, I want to find a way to love and accept myself. Even though I'm feeling a lot of stress and anxiety with everything going on today, especially the election, I want to find a way to love and accept myself. And then one last time, even though I'm feeling all the stress and anxiety about everything going on today, especially the election, I want to find a way to love and accept myself and start to release some of the stress. Okay, shake it out, and we're going to go to the points on the face and body now. Follow along with me, inner eyebrow. All the stress, and then go to the outer eyebrow. All the stress. And now down to under your eye, all the stress. And then under your nose, I'm feeling all the stress. Chin point, so much worry. And then collarbone, wondering what's going to happen. Underarm, so many things feel under my control. Wrist point, so many things to worry about. Top of the head, especially with today's election. Inner eye, wondering what'll happen. Outer eye, wondering who'll win. Under eye, wondering if he'll even be a winner. Under nose, all these worries. Chin point, worried about the pandemic. Collarbone, numbers are going in the wrong direction. Underarm, worried about what's going on with the schools. And then wrist point, will they be open or closed? Top of the head, worried about the economy. Inner eye, and how that will affect me and my work. Outer eye, all these things to worry about. And under eye, there's probably at least 1, 2, or 3, or 4 dozen more under nose, things I could name, chin point that I'm worried about. Collarbone, and it's causing me a lot of stress and anxiety. Underarm, but the stress and anxiety isn't helping me. Top of the head, it's just making me feel uncomfortable, powerless, and afraid. All the stress and anxiety. Under nose, what if there's a way that I could learn to release some of it? Because the truth is that these things will take a while to get fixed. Underarm, but what if I could find a way to release some of the stress and anxiety while I keep myself safe? Okay, everybody, take a nice deep breath. Inhale through your nose, let it out through your mouth. And as you're releasing it, picture yourself releasing some stress. And take a look at your number now, and it may have changed. If you were at a 15, it might have dropped to a 10, or if you were at a 10, it might have gone to an 8, and so on. If you notice your number going sideways or even up, it does not mean the tapping didn't work. All that means is that there's some new fears, doubts, negative thoughts, old stories, things popping up. Write those things down. Those are things we need to work on. And we're going to do another round of tapping. Just to remind everybody, this is group tapping. And, if you really want the deep personal results, please reach out to my team, info@katebeaters.com, to talk about doing some private tapping with me to really start clearing this out. You'll notice such a huge difference in how you go through your day. So before we go do this next round of tapping, and feel free if you want to share, your number change, we're going to do another round. I want to just remind everybody that something I've been saying since the pandemic started, and I say it every time I speak, when I'm leading workshops or speaking to companies or to clients, is that you don't get to opt in or opt out of the pandemic, but you do get to choose how you experience this. So for all these things going on, pandemic related, political related, all these things, we have only ourselves, we can do so much. But when we come from an empowered place, we can do so much more. And that's really why I wanted to be here with you today, to help you become more empowered again. Because one of the biggest reasons for stress is people feel that they have lost control. They've lost control right now. And I want to help you start to take that back. Now, when I was a flight attendant, we always used to say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first, right? Because then you can go help others. And so it's the same thing. The better care you take of yourself, the more you are able to help others, whether it's your friends, your family, your neighbors, your loved ones, your community, your clients, your coworkers, whomever, people you don't even know. But the more you're able to help other people, when you take better care of yourself. So let's do another round of tapping. And let's do another stretch and yawn first before we start. I just think that feels so good. I find everyone just feel their bodies just kind of get all tight and stressed out with everything going on, especially today with the voting going on. So let's go to the karate chop, okay? And again, repeat after me. Even though, you guys say it while you're tapping, even though I'm feeling the stress and anxiety, there's a brighter, smarter part of me who says there's a way through this. And I want to start to listen to that brighter, smarter part of me while I learn to love and accept myself. Okay, so shake them out. We're going to go to the eyebrow points, okay? And again, we're going to move through the points. Inner eye, the stress and anxiety. And then outer eye, the stress and anxiety. Under eye, there is a lot right now. Under nose, and pretty much everybody's feeling it. Chin point, but what if there's a way that I can actually control it in a better way? Under an arm, that I can start to take my power back. Wrist point, that I can start to take control. Because the truth is, there's some things I can control and some things I can't. But what if I started to take a stand for me? A stand for me and all I deserve and all I'm worthy of. And what if I took the stand for me and started showing up from a place of power and started taking some more of my power back? Because there's resources out there to help me and there's experts out there to help me. And it is possible. I can start to take my power back. No matter how things get crazy, I may not know all the hows, but I can find a way and I can get the help I need and take my power back while I keep myself safe. Okay, everybody, deep breath, let it out slowly. As you release the breath, picture yourself releasing some more stress. Doesn't that feel good? And check in with your number. Do another body scan too, starting at the top of your head and scan all the way down. Jaws, neck and shoulders. Maybe you find your breathing a little bit easier. You know, your breathing isn't as shallow as it was before. Um, Check down to your stomach, your gut, your lower back, and notice the difference, how you're feeling right now. You're starting to feel a little bit stronger. And that's a whole thing because when we become empowered, we can create whatever we desire. When we become empowered and we show up in our brilliance, that changes our experience of how we go through life. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for me. So please share this video with your community and your friends. Let them also experience some tapping today. We all need it. Feel free, go back, watch this tapping over and over again. If you want to watch it a couple more times today or tomorrow or the next day, things will definitely not get resolved in a few hours, but the tapping will help you as you're going through this experience. And again, please reach out to my team if you'd like to work privately and really get the deep help and support to help you really make a powerful transformation. So until we meet again, be brilliant.